This is the Ben Herman Show.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Ben Herman here from the Ben Herman Show, and today we've got Mr. Phil from Wedding Crash Kings, who is holding it down in the wedding industry. DJ, entrepreneur, investor, man, infinite banker.
Yes, sir.
Dude, it's good to have you on the show.
Good to have you, Ben.
Definitely.
Much love.
So, you're one of our fellow license partners here at PDJ.
Mm-hmm.
You've grown this awesome, wedding-specific DJ business, right? You do other events as well, but it's in the name, Wedding Crash Kings,
right.
Which I love, by the way. I love your name, man. I love it. So, tell the people, how did you get started as a DJ, and then also, where did the start come from for Wedding Crash Kings?
How did I get started as a DJ? That is a loaded question. I would take it all the way back to my high school days. I was listening to a CD that I probably shouldn't have been listening to.
Yeah.
So that CD was The Unbreakables by 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
It was the chopped and screw version. It wasn't the regular version. It was the chopped and screw version. Are you familiar with?
Back then,
okay, so you're familiar with
DJ Drama and
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be the next DJ Drama.
Okay.
But hearing that style of music, so the inventor of chopped and screw music, his name is DJ Screw. DJ Screw popularized slowing down music and adding the chops to it, like with the crossfader. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like it just creates a vibe. It's very vibey for me, and it's kind of like a drug, honestly. Like chopped and screw music, even before chopped and screw music, when I was 16, it just puts you in the zone. So I fell in love with the way that he controlled the records. So he could scratch stuff, he would bring it back. It was so artistic, the way that he blended music, and it created a feeling. Yeah. I love music that makes me feel. So I was like, I want to do this. I want to chop and screw music, and that was the reason I started DJing, so I could just chop and screw my own music. And similar to your story, I got so frustrated trying to teach myself how to chop and screw. I didn't throw my equipment. I didn't throw my equipment at the wall, but I was so frustrated until one day I just stumbled upon how to do it. And it just boils down, chopping music just boils down to speeding up one deck, maybe one beat faster than the other one. So you can jump to one song and then jump back to the other. Gotcha. So it was epic. When I figured out how to do it, I stumbled on it, and I remember the song that I learned how to chop and screw on. It was T.I., You Don't Know Me.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one. It's proper, too. Yeah,
so when I heard it, you don't know me, I said, it's over.
Did you create mixtapes, too? Because that was the mixtape era, man.
That was the mixtape era, so that was all I used to do. When I first started DJing, I used to get in trouble for... when my parents would go to sleep, I would turn their office into a factory. And I would press up 50 to 100 CDs every single night. Got caught multiple times by them doing it. They told me you should be focusing on school, but I was in the hallways in between passing periods selling my music.
Did you hustle them too? So you just pass them out? You actually
I was making decent money for a high schooler, to the point where my mom thought I was selling drugs in high school.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She literally thought I was selling drugs. She confiscated my phone one day, went all the way through it, didn't find anything but girls. And there was a librarian that I had a crush on too. I would sell her $50 to $100 worth of music because she just liked me. She took a liking to me. So she was my best customer. But all the other kids, I would sell the CDs for $3 to them, $5 to her.
Oh, really?
I knew she had it.
Yeah, she had it.
I knew she had it. But
only $3. I sold mine for $5.
You heard?
I did.
They didn't have that much. The kids, they weren't working with that much back then.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. That's how I got started. Okay. And then Wedding Crash Kings. So from the time that I was 18, when I started actually going out and DJing live events, to the time I was about maybe 25, my focus was geared towards being a club DJ, being a nightlife DJ, because it's fun. Yeah. It's fun. You got the music, the drinks, the girls, the atmosphere. It's just a great time. So I
think so many of us started that, dude.
Yeah.
It's because we look forward to that, man. It's it's the cool DJ. That's
facts. Yeah. Big facts. So I thought that was the direction I wanted to go towards, but it got to the point, bro, where in my city where I'm from, the people only wanted to hear the DJs that they knew. So was a set, group of DJs in our culture that were very, very well known. had been DJing for decades, 20, 25 plus years. People just wanted to hear those same names in the club, and promoters were going with, DJs that they were familiar with. And if they weren't familiar with you, like you might be DJing for some drinks and $75.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though they're making, hand over fist, which is crazy
Yeah.
to me. But because it's like DJs, we're the life of the party. And I just got frustrated with the way that I was getting treated when I just knew what kind of value I was bringing to the situation. So long story short, I stopped listening to music for 3 months. It was at least 3 months. And I was the kind of guy, as soon as I got in the car, every single time, I would always, turn on, whatever I was listening to, some new music. And I was the type where every time I got a new car, I would not drive it until I put a new radio in there and subwoofers in the back. So coming from somebody where like music was my only passion besides basketball at the point, like me, like just not listening to music for like 3 months was crazy. And that was coming on the tail end of me. Like I had a period when I was like 24 to I guess like 26 where I was in jail multiple times.
Oh, really?
I could not stay out of jail. And
I finally know about your story, man.
Yeah, I finally made a decision that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted for myself, because I saw the effect it had on my mom. And I saw like how sad she, was when I would get locked up, and like I didn't want to. The only reason I stopped doing what I was doing is because I didn't want to see her hurting anymore.
Shout out to mom, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to mom. I need to call you this week. I'm gonna call you, mom. I love you.
Ah.
I stopped doing, a lot of stuff that I was doing to generate income, but I still wanted to live a certain kind of lifestyle, and I just didn't see that it was gonna be possible through DJing at the time. So I was depressed. That was the only time in my life where I said, look, I was depressed. In my younger teens to 20s, I was a big early bird. Yeah. And I remember during this time period, I would literally not sleep in. I would stay in the bed until my body hurt, because I didn't want to get up. I didn't like, what's the point of life? I'm like, I don't even care.
Depressed, yeah.
Like I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to do anything. I still held down a job. I had a job at that point, and I had 2 jobs for quite a while. So I still had 2 jobs, but I was overnight stocking and working at the dollar store. So I would work 16-hour shifts. Sometimes I'd get off my night job, go right into the dollar store job. And then on days that I had off during that time period, I would just lay in bed. I didn't want to do nothing. It was a very, very sad time. But what snapped me out of that was I had a conversation. So I was working construction. I was in an apprenticeship. And I think I was like maybe 1 or 2 years into the apprenticeship. And I was, taking a liking to the work, because for me, it was the highest paying job that I ever had. I was an electrician apprentice. So electricians get paid pretty well when it comes to construction. So like I was making decent money, and I was very excited about that. And I was, excited about the trajectory of that career. And I could kind of put like professional DJing, like completely, I just pushed it out of my mind. I think I was still kind of making mixes here and there, but I just wasn't taking it that seriously. And then I had a conversation with this journeyman. So like this short, didn't look like a DJ. Let's just put it like that. He did not even look like a DJ to me, like what I thought a DJ should look like. And I just don't know how we got on the topic, but I told him I was a DJ, started having a conversation with him. And then he got to tell me what he was making doing weddings every weekend. And he's showing me his setup.
So he was a DJ, huh? Yeah. But he didn't look like a DJ.
He did not look like a DJ. He showed me his setup, and I don't even like, those controllers where it's like 2 knobs, 2 like really like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 inch knobs, and like a couple of buttons. No, it wasn't. I don't think you could even put CDs in there, bro. I had never seen. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I know he can't scratch. I know he can't mix with that, and he's getting how many thousands of dollars every weekend DJing? I said, oh no. I can do that. Yeah. So after that conversation, I went home. I started researching wedding DJs in my area online, and I just was looking at their websites. I said, you know what? I'm going to rebrand what I do, and that's where Wedding Crash Kings came about. Wow. So cool. Even when I thought of the name, I'm like, I typed it in on Google. I'm like, nobody has this already?
That's a fire name.
Crazy.
Fire name. Yeah.
So that's when Wedding Crash Kings was born, and I remember asking my dad. I was like, this is what I want to say on the site, but I say it professionally. And I remember that moment. He was at the kitchen table, and I like had wrote down what I wanted to say on the website. I gave it to him. I'm like, Dad, how would you say this? Like, better.
Yeah.
So
that was pre-AI days, right?
Yeah,
so like,
that was my chat GPT back then. Pops, shout out to Pops.
Yeah.
He's chat GPT. But yeah, and then I created the website, and I got the very first gig that I got after I created that website. It was my first time getting a check for DJing that had a comma in it, bro.
Isn't that crazy, man? Like us, nightlife is just like we struggle, man, and we put in all these hours for like hundreds. You know what I mean? And then it's like one wedding or private event, it's like it's got a comma in it, and you're like, what? And this is easier? Like what? It like breaks your brain, right? Yeah.
I said it is on and popping.
Yeah. You're like, I want to do more of this. Yeah.
And I started doing a lot more. It got to the point where I had like, I'm like, dang, I have 50 gigs this year. I have 50 people want me to DJ for them. Before that, I was DJing like maybe once every, couple of months. I'd get a call. So-and-so probably couldn't make it to DJ. So in the last minute club DJ. After I made the site, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It's like the universe doesn't give you stuff until you're basically saying like, look, I'm ready. Yeah. I didn't have how can I get higher paying gigs? I didn't even have the right kind of website. Yeah. I didn't even have a website. So,
How did you create the website in the first place? Like, I'm assuming you didn't have any understanding of how to create a website, right?
No, I used Weebly. It's a free website builder. And like I said, I did my research. I looked at other wedding DJ websites, and I like kind of modeled it after. Okay, they've got an about page. They've got a packages page. They've got a contact page. That's all you need to start making six figures. Like,
and then your website. GPT, you put the words.
Before
in there.
I met you, my website was ugly.
Was it? Yeah.
And I was making six figures off of it. But yeah.
Take notes of that, DJs. Right? Like your website doesn't have to be perfect. I think it does need to like follow marketing psychology and sales psychology. I'm assuming now probably you get more leads and conversions.
As soon as I changed
it, that's like optimization.
Yeah, as soon as I changed my website over to the licensed partner website, the results were instant. Like I was like, and it made me think like, man, how many people am I missing out on because I didn't have a call to action, but I did not have a call to action button on my website for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And I thought
I'm with Greg too. Same thing. It's like, dude, it's not like it doesn't take you like a week. It's like within 24 hours, you start getting leads. It's like, dude, how many leads did I miss out on?
That's all I could think of when I did it. I said,
it's crazy. Well, again, I tell everybody, man, like we just give you kind of like what's worked for us, but really you got to put in the work, right? You got to actually believe that, because that's the crazy part to me, man. Is like from my perspective as a mentor and licensing our systems out from our company, right? Like things that have been proven for a decade and a half plus and optimized and so forth. There's certain people that like take this information and they run with it and they just freaking skyrocket their company. And there's other people who have access to the same exact information, same bend, same everything, but stay stuck. And why is it? It's because one person believes that's going to work for them and it freaking unlocks it for them, right? The other person goes, oh, it might not work and blah, blah, blah. And they overthink it and they're all up in their head. Because of that, they don't actually try to work the systems or implement them in their business, and it just keeps them stuck. It's weird, man.
It is, and I think it's because people don't. They may look at you and be like, damn, and they like kind of put you on a pedestal, and they don't understand the only thing separating them from you is your extreme, irrational belief in yourself. Like that's one of the things that I've noticed all the millionaires that I've been around have in common. They have an unrealistic belief in themselves.
Yep. I would say that too. No, that makes total sense. Like you think about it, like even Elon Musk, right? To be like, yeah, I'm gonna change the entire car industry. I'm gonna create a robot. I'm gonna migrate to Mars. Like just to think about just even one of those things.
And we're watching him do it.
You know what I mean? And he actually does it. It's just like most people look at you like, dude, you're crazy. And he's just like, you can think that, but I'm gonna do it. Like that's what probably Elon.
You gotta be. It's a good crazy to me, but I think the most successful people are crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Man, I want to circle back real quick because you kind of like brushed over it a little bit. Okay. So you said that there was a rough patch in your life where like you couldn't stay out of jail. Like what was happening in your life at that time?
In my culture, we're taught our value as a man is tied to how much money we make. That's the simplest way I can put it. Like, that is what we're fed. Your value is directly associated with how much money you make.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing that all this stuff was being, like, you know, indoctrinated in me through, you know, through TV, through, you know, music, through, you know, I'm trying to say it the right way, but just the way this society is set up, you know, certain groups or people are pushed towards certain things, certain beliefs. So, you know, once I felt like I couldn't be that person that I wanted to be, it's depressing. You know what I mean? Like, cause like all I wanted to do, it was like my dreams, my goals, my ambition, my purpose are the most important things to me. And I was just basically at a time where I just felt a lack of self-worth. I was living in a Section 8 apartment, $400 a month. So it was just a lot of things going into that depression. But I feel like at the end of the day, it was just because I felt like I couldn't be who I wanted to be. You know, I felt like the world was telling me like, nope, like I know you want to make a living off being a DJ, but it's not for you. That's just kind of like what I felt at the time. So like that was all I had. Like my dream was all I had. So
yeah, for sure.
What do I do now?
So then how did it transition? Like what was the thing that you would attribute to going from that to like being in a rut in life to like, now I'm gonna make this happen? Like what happened in between that?
It was seeing somebody else doing it. It was seeing somebody else doing it.
With,
exactly. Yeah. Having that conversation that sparked me and made me want to get back into DJing. Because I'm like, if he can do it, I'm like, I can DJ better than him.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the things, like it just, I don't feel like I'm the best. I am not the best DJ in my city. I am far from it. I know I'm a very good DJ. And that's like one of our company's selling points is the way that we DJ is completely different from anybody else in our market. And I don't want to like misquote you, but I know there's like times where I've said that and you're like, well, that's not like a selling point, or that's like, oh, everybody says they're the best DJ. But I'm like, no, bro, we are the best DJs in Indianapolis that do weddings because there's nobody else that brings the same kind of flavor that we do to the dance floor. None of these DJs do it the same because we DJ'd in clubs before, you know, for years and years and years. Our only job was to make people dance. And then it's like we take that same energy that we had in the clubs and bring it to the weddings. If you don't know the music, there's only so much you can do. And I feel like the music is in me. So there's no way to mimic what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
It's just like I used to lock myself in my bedroom for 8-10 hours at a time making mix CDs. I didn't know that all I was doing was practicing, but I would beat match until I had the beat perfectly blended with the song. No separation whatsoever in the song. Like, because one of the DJs that I looked up to in my city, when you listen to his mixtapes, it was an experience. You put it in, it doesn't even, like, you would know that this was that certain DJ as soon as it came on. It was crystal clear. All the, you know, beats were perfectly matched. So it's like, that's what I tried to mimic. So like now it's like, I can mix in my sleep. I can song select in my sleep. Like it's easy for me to read the crowd. I feel like I'm just being myself. And I teach all of our DJs that, you know, some of it is natural, but at the same time, some of it can be taught. Some of the stuff that I do can be taught. Yeah. And I feel like you just can't get that from anybody else.
Yeah. You know, it's actually cool that you mentioned that because like, I'm a huge believer that no effort is ever wasted. Sometimes it doesn't work for you, but it's working on you, right? So like you working on the mixtapes or trying to like, you know, for hours, right? Or things that may have not worked out along the way, like with nightlife, you got super frustrated, right? It all actually helped set you up for Wedding Crash Kings in the long run, right? But as we're going through that journey, we don't see it. We're so frustrated. We're like, oh man, it's not working for me. Everybody else has it easier than me, right? But then once you get on the other side, you're like, you look back and like, dang, I needed all those things, all those failures, mistakes, and hard times because it was molding me into the person I needed to become in order to have Wedding Crash Kings. Isn't that interesting? Like you said, nightlife, right? Yeah. Well, you needed to go through that frustration of nightlife to now offer nightlife in a new flavor at weddings. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's dope.
Right? So what I'd say, like anybody who feels discouraged out there, it's like sometimes the work doesn't work for you, but it's working on you. Like it's working on you, it's molding you, and it's preparing you for what's next. But you don't see it because that's why you're impatient, why you're like discouraged and all that kind of stuff. So all these little like mindset frame, like the shifting of your mindset that helps you like keep moving forward, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm in this community, man. That's like been the biggest thing for me is surrounding myself with people that are doing better than me, doing better than me in business. It's kind of uncomfortable at first, don't get me wrong, because like back home, I'm that guy in my circle. I'm the guy that everybody looks up to. But if you're like the smartest person or doing the best in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, for sure.
At the end of the day, you're in the wrong room.
But it takes you to like humble yourself, right? To be in that room of people who are, maybe further ahead than you.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got the same thing, right? Like I have to do the same thing, constantly work on my stuff. And it's not just in business, but it's in personal life as well, and all that kind of stuff. So get around the right community, get around the right people. It doesn't have to be PDJ, but like get around some people. You know what I mean? So what's next for Wedding Crash Kings?
What's next? We're working on elevating our brand right now. So we are a luxury entertainment DJ company, and for us right now, we are trying to get a lot more vocal about who we are and like projecting that to our target audience. So really honing in on that target audience and finding the people that like really want us, like Paul talks about, like that star power. That's the next step for Wedding Crash King.
So for some of you that don't know about Paul, my partner at Profit Flow, he talks about the star quadrant, which is like you can sell 1-to-1, right? Or you can sell 1-to-many. And the cool part about 1-to-many is you almost become the star. So positioning wise, if you sell 1-on-1, it's almost like you're that salesman, right? Like your position's not that strong. Versus if you're the authority in the room and everybody's looking up to, right? It's a lot easier to sell from that perspective versus like just the 1-on-1 situation. So that's what you're trying to do, right?
Exactly. Just hone in more on our ideal client. And what we're looking forward to is people reaching out to us and already knowing who we are. So, some people that reach out to us, they know who we are. They were at a friend's wedding that we DJ'd. You know how that goes. But we want a lot more of that because like I said, I feel like what we provide is unmatched in our industry. We are the best DJ company in the Midwest, period.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the experience that you get with us from anybody else.
Yeah.
So we want to communicate that on our online presence.
You mentioned also back at home, you're that guy that everybody looks up to, right? There are DJs right now, or even people that are just listening to this and watching this, right, that are like, man, I want what Phil has, but I don't know how to get it. I'm in a rut in life. Like life's treating me really hard right now. Like what kind of advice could you give that person? And let's say like you don't even speak to an audience or group, but just that one person that needs that hope.
I would say whatever you're passionate in, double down on it. Double down on it and treat it like that's the only option. When I quit the apprenticeship, so I was in a 5-year electrician apprenticeship. That whole 5 years, I was building up Wedding Crash Kings. It got to the point where I was making more in 2 days than I was making in a whole 40-hour week. So I didn't love being an electrician. At the end of the day, I was doing it for the money. I even had an instructor tell us, in year 1, I remember, like it was yesterday, he did the whole thing, look to the left of you, look to the right of you. How many people think they're gonna finish the apprenticeship? I raised my hand, I knew I was finishing that shit. But he said, if you're in it for the money, eventually it's not gonna be worth it. In one ear, out the other. Fuck it, run my money, I need my money. I only had one more step to go. So like to be a journeyman electrician in the IBEW, you have to pass a hands-on test, basically where you showcase your skills like, bending pipe, connecting panels, connecting transformers, real technical electrical stuff to show that you're ready to go out on your own and, be a journeyman. Past that, I think I got like a B+, I think I got like a B+. So passed the hands-on test. So the only test left was the written test. I didn't take it. I didn't take the test. And I had a long conversation with he's now the director of the apprenticeship before I made that decision. Kind Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I felt stupid when I did it, and everybody that, you know, looked at me doing it, like I can imagine what kind of shit that they said about me. You know, the students and the kids, like nothing against them, but it's like in their eyes, they're like, this is the best career you could have. Why would you walk away from it? And for me, it just got to the point where I didn't want to do anything where my heart wasn't in it anymore. Like life is short. I'm like, I don't want to do what I don't want to do anymore. I don't have to. Like I have this chance I have an opportunity to take a chance on myself. I'm going to bet on myself this time. So I remember, I don't remember the exact day, but I remember it was before Christmas, and I'm like, I'm done. I hate the cold. My last job site, I was working in a parking garage. We were, like I was running some EMT. That's the pipe that you put electrical wires in. Try to see if you see any. Nope, there's probably all in the ceiling.
Probably above,
yeah, in the ceiling. Yeah. I just remember grabbing my tool bag. Usually, like I don't take work home with me. Hell no. So like I took my tool bag with me, bro, because I knew I wasn't coming back. And I just remember going home that day, and I'm like, I know I don't care. Like no matter what, I'm not working another day on a job site. And just circling back to why I even brought that up, on the paper, like they make you like write on a piece of paper why you quit, and I wrote, Plan A can only distract. No, I'm sorry. Plan B can only distract from Plan A.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. I call that golden handcuffs, man.
Yeah.
Because like it's like you sign up for that career, the money's gonna get better and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be so much harder to quit because you're getting paid well, you've moved up in the organization, all that kind of stuff, but you're not passionate about it. So you're like, man, golden handcuffs. It's gold, but it's got me handcuffed because like I'm not able to do what I want to do, like my dream. You know what I mean? It's like it's a tough one, man. To actually, like, again, respect to you for having the courage to do that, because so many people don't do it. So many people, they just give into the handcuffs, man. Give the rest of their life away till retirement. What was it for you that made you do that? Like, it was the encouraging words, of course, but like there must have been something within Phil that was like, yeah, I think I want to do this. There's no guarantees on the other side too, man. You know what I mean? This is pretty risky for you to.
I had a mentor during. So I tore my Achilles 5 years ago. So as I was transitioning out of construction, I was eligible for FMLA because of my Achilles. I took some time off to get to recover, to take physical therapy, and so this was all going on during that time. And I knew that I didn't have to go to work because of FMLA, but part of the conditions of the apprenticeship was you had to stay working. Okay. And I think my FMLA ran out, and my employer was like, you got to come back to work. So I had to make a decision, stay in work, finish school. And I said, hey, I'll finish school. I'm just not going back to work. But they're like, nah, you can't do that. And I had actually gotten, while I was on FMLA, I got a remote sales job with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. So I was working as a setter for them during this time. And I remember my, what did they call it? My supervisor, the sales trainer, Adam, because I was getting so many people that I respected. I was getting their input on it because like this is one of the biggest decisions I ever made in my life. And he said, so let's say you're driving a Toyota. I mean, Toyota's a great car. If you see a Ferrari driving by, why would you not want that Ferrari? Like, you're not demote. It's like you're not. I forgot what language you use, but it's like it's not a negative thing that you want to change careers. You're going in a better direction because he had been an entrepreneur, I think, pretty much all his life. Sold businesses, all that stuff. So he's basically saying like, bro, hop in that Ferrari. Like you want it, just hop in it. Yeah. So I hopped in it. And it was a very hard decision to make. I even remember the day of just thinking like, damn, like I'm supposed to be taking a test right now. But I was, taking sales calls instead.
Man, he was like, And this is a salesperson too, right?
Huh?
Was this a salesperson that was trying to recruit you? So like,
no, I was already on the team.
Like,
they were working with me. No, they were working with my schedule because like, like it is even to the point where I would be in school and I would still be like on the Zoom meetings. Oh, really? I would have my AirPods in, like I wouldn't even be paying attention to what's on the board. Like I was fully engaged in the meeting, not saying anything, but like listening to the numbers, the goals for the sales team, and all that. And I feel like I was on that sales team because I still wanted a crutch. Like when I walked away from my job, I was just used to having, multiple incomes. That's right. So I wasn't used to just having just enough to survive because like I would always work my ass off just to have a little bit extra, so I wasn't just paying the bills. So it took me I think it took me 2 years to let go of that remote job. And it was a mutual, I'll say I got pushed into my purpose because I just kind of slowly stopped. I started losing interest in the job because I was coaching people. Oh man, oh my God, like I missed that. So I went from the sales team to being a one-on-one business coach. So I was remotely business coaching people from all over the world. I remember I was coaching this lady that was in, she speaks German, so she was in Germany. I was coaching somebody from Denmark, I think it was, like all over the world, all over the United States too, helping them start up their online coaching business. Yeah. So that was I'm like, I want to do what I'm telling these people to do. And I felt like the biggest hypocrite. I'm telling you to do shit that I'm not doing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it just started wearing on me. And I remember I was in Hawaii when my first time talking to Paul. So I forgot I'd seen one of your ads, and I'd seen probably a couple of them, and I forgot. You know how it is. You sign up for shit and forget you even signed up for it. Paul reached out, being the excellent salesperson that he is, and I ended up on a Zoom call while I was on vacation in Hawaii with my girl. Shout out to my bae. Remember, it was so hot in the room. I'm on a Zoom call with Paul with my shirt off. It's his first time meeting me, and it's probably like, who's this crazy?
You said Hawaii?
Shirt, yeah.
So it's like super humid. Probably.
Yeah, shirt off, do rag.
Yeah.
Sweating. And Paul's just keeping his composure, telling me about the P4X method.
Oh, okay.
And I said, bro, who taught you that? When he got done saying it, he was like, man, I'm not even gonna take credit. That's not even my idea to be. And I'm like, okay, if this was for free, what do I get? Because I've been part of mentoring. I know the game. I was selling. Selling high ticket coaching program. So I knew what came next. But I'm just like, shoot, if this was the freebie, what's the paid version like? So that piqued my interest, and I think I became a licensed partner in November of 2023. But October was the last time. October 2023 was the last time that I worked for anybody other than myself.
Wow.
So I just celebrated a year anniversary of being a full-time entrepreneur.
Respect,
and it feels
awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Feels unrealistic.
Wow. I remember though, like, cause you joined the accelerator program, right?
Yep.
P4X accelerator.
Yep.
And then you pretty much stay there for a little bit.
Yeah, and
I want more.
I'm like, I can't let nobody in my city hop on this before me. That's what it was for me.
Oh, really?
The exclusivity. I'm like,
gotcha.
I need that. I can't let anybody else get it.
Yeah.
I need that.
So how's that been working out for you, like inside the tribe, and not just like what you receive, but like also the connections that you've made here?
Best decision.
Yeah.
Best decision I made in 2023.
Wow.
The best decision.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's up there with the top. I think the best decision I ever made was leaving my job. Mm-hmm. And then it's definitely top 3.
Wow.
Top 3 decisions.
Man. Well, why? Why was that one of the best decisions?
I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in mentorships. But when I finally found one that was specifically geared to my business, I'm like, this is what I've been waiting on. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been part of some great mentorship, paid a lot of money for them, and learned so much just by being, like I said, being around people that are doing better than me. So when this came around, I'm like, nah, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to learn from somebody that's doing better than me. I don't have that in my city. Somebody that looks like me, that's doing better than me. Yeah. Where are they at?
Wow.
I haven't met him.
Yeah. Did you get any coaching from like Dean or Tony?
I mean, we got the whole curriculum.
Wow.
We got, we got to watch all the videos. Anything that they were doing, we have first access to it.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So,
nice.
I was definitely, like, I learned so much. Like, that was another great decision.
I bet, yeah. I mean, because they're the greats, man.
So, the GOATs.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Dean and Tony.
Right? Totally. Yeah. Did you ever get to spend time with them?
Virtually. I didn't.
Oh, cool.
Had I stayed longer, it would have been nothing just to, fly out to Arizona. I was actually, thinking about doing that before I stepped out on my own. Just be wasting their time at this point. But, yeah, I thought about going in person in the office. But, yeah, super cool. Great guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. So I guess since you joined the License Partnership and even the Accelerator, because you've put on your event promotion as well, right? Like, what results came from that and how did it affect your business? And in what ways?
I would sum it up with exponential growth. Exponential growth. Where I'm at now with my business versus where I was at October 2023, night and day. Night and day. Don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff was working for me before I got with you, but now it's just
wow. I mean, I remember like you didn't have an office back then.
Nope.
Now you have an office.
Yep.
You were working with contractors. Now you're hiring your own staff. You're training from the ground up. All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
What about event volume? Like, are you increasing?
That's the thing that I'm here for. That's why I'm here to get better at, because I do not keep track of my numbers. I don't. I just hustle, bro. That's what I know. I just hustle. I go, and I look at my bank account. All right, we're doing good. Keep going. But I know how much better my business will be once I have a solid understanding of those numbers. Stuff is a lot more predictable, right?
Absolutely.
And then you can make bigger decisions, because it's like the sky's the limit. With the amount of information that I've gained from being a part of all these masterminds, being around all these business owners. For us at this point, I think it's about dialing those numbers in and then just reacting according to that. We've got the fuel. It's just sitting in the gas tank. I just not gonna pour it in until I know. Okay, cool. We got what we need to make it make sense and not do stupid shit.
Yeah. Dude, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I guess give the people a way to like get in touch with you. Like, you have any social media handles or anything you want to share with them?
Yeah, so you can follow me at Wedding Crash Kings if you're looking for a wedding DJ. If not, hey, follow us, check out our content. Shoot me a message, talk to me, I talk back. So I have a platform that I'm turning it into a non-for-profit arm. It's called Book Better Gigs. So before I met you, I was actually doing I thought I had reached the peak of my DJ career.
Yeah.
funny now, just like look at that. Like I'm like, how much higher can I? So I thought the next step in my journey was to start coaching other DJs. Don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of information that I've shared with DJs and I can share to help them get to where I'm at. But seeing how you do it, I'm like, why would I'm not going to try to compete with that. Let me just hop on and see what value I can bring to what they're doing, because you made me not even want to sell what I had, bro. Because what you have is so incredible compared to any tools, any resources that I've ever seen somebody give to a DJ, bro. It just made me like, bro, you're wasting your time.
Thank you, man.
Putting your focus into that, you're wasting your time.
Yeah. So you were going to actually become a coach too. I didn't realize.
So I was actually coaching, bro. Like November, the month after I talked to Paul for the first time, I hosted a workshop. I called it the 10K in a month workshop, showing DJs how to make $10,000 a month in their business by literally just giving them the same steps that I took.
Yeah.
So I was using pay-per lead sites, and I was killing it, bro. I still use pay-per lead sites because like you said, they're putting you in a pool. May the best man win. Well, Wedding Crash Kings just happens to be the best man in this pool. So we're talking about getting gigs for $50, $60. I'm not getting every single one, but it was to the point where the margins were crazy versus what I was spending on the pay-per lead sites versus what we were bringing in. So I was just teaching DJs how to use pay-per lead sites basically, and just getting a lot more intentional with their business than versus just kind of like waiting for, you could I don't know why, but I feel like even if DJs don't want to admit it, like a lot of us feel like, oh, if I just if I just become the best DJ that I can be, you know, like somebody's just gonna reach out and sign me. You know, like how it was back in the 90s. If you were an artist, you would just make songs. Somebody's gonna discover me. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. So I was, you know, just kind of showing them like, hey, if this is what you want, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So now I'm gonna turn that into a non-for-profit, and my plan with that is just to do, you know, beneficial meetups every now and then where, you know, I'm just, you know, giving DJs pointers.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
That's cool. Way to pay it forward too, you know? Man, I learned so much from you, like, in this conversation. Yeah. I mean, we spend, like, you know, every week together on Zoom, but, like, we don't get to talk about this kind of stuff. So
straight business.
It's really cool, man. It's really cool to hear, like, that you've got all these other things on your heart, too, that you want to do. So, did you give out your handles yet?
Yeah, so at Wedding Crash Kings, and if you want to check out what we're doing at Book Better Gigs, you can follow that Instagram as well, at Book Better Gigs.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you for your time, as always. Appreciate you.
Make
sure to follow the guy, too.
For sure. You really need to follow him, though.